Welcome to the first episode of the multi-platform Sharp Sports Report, or something going by a new name because there's multiple Sharp Sports Reports that I found. So, if anyone listening to this has an idea, hit me up because I've got nothing. But this will be a part 2, actually, of a college football list I made yesterday, listing a bunch of teams that I'm actually pretty interested in seeing this upcoming year. So if you're on YouTube or wherever you are listening or watching to this, check out that first one. You can find it only on, like podcast things like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, which is my main using area. But I kind of want to get in this real quickly. I'm going to lump like 3 or 4 teams into the first one. So I'm gonna name it the 2020 Wonders. I guess that's what we're gonna go with. 2020 Wonders for my first grouping of teams in this video, which consists of Central Carolina, right? That's what it says. Coastal. There we go. Coastal Carolina, Liberty, and I'm forgetting one. They got BYU. You could throw in there, I guess. But teams like that, teams that were really good last year, kind of out of nowhere, Louisiana. And we kind of want to see where they're going to go this year. I think they'll all be good, except for I think BYU's going to take a major step back because they don't have Zach Wilson. I also have no clue what their roster looks like, so I couldn't tell you if they have a good upcoming quarterback. So I really got nothing on the BYU spectrum or any of these teams. I guess I don't follow them at all. But I think I do know that Louisiana kept their coach, really good coach. They're probably gonna stay good, I'd say. I mean, they got no one else to really challenge them in their division. So I mean, Louisiana's gonna stay good. Coastal Carolina probably gonna stay good. What was the team I named? Liberty. They'll probably stay good. I think they're independent, so their schedule's probably pretty easy. I couldn't tell you that. They'll probably all stay good. They won't be as good as they were last year, where you have some of them like the top 15, top 11. I think was the highest one of them got. So I mean, I think they'll just be wonders. So it's in the name of the group. They'll just be wonders. It's like, hey, look, Liberty had that one awesome year in 2020 and kind of didn't reach that ever again. Oh, Jesus. The next team I want to go over is Ohio State. A team that's kind of surrounded by uncertainty, but not really. It's Ryan Day's team. They're gonna be good, but they do have some really unexperienced quarterbacks. I don't know their names, but all I've heard is that they really don't have any play time. They haven't done anything at Ohio State of notability. So I mean, they'll be Ohio State. They'll be good, but considering they play Minnesota and then Oregon week 1 and week 2. I could see them losing one of those 2 games. Probably not both. I've heard people say that they could lose both. I don't see it happening. I don't want to count out either of those 2 teams. Like, I think Minnesota could win. I really do. They're only like a 14-point underdog, which, in the Big Ten isn't that much. And I don't know what Oregon's underdog rating is, or whatever, not underdog rating, but you know what I mean. I don't know how much they're projected to lose by, if they're projected to lose at all. They probably are. But I really do see Oregon pulling off an upset there. But I think Ohio State will pull it together if they lose one of those 2 games or lose both of those games. And they'll probably be the outright winner of the Big Ten. But I really don't know. They'll beat Penn State. I know that. They'll beat Indiana. Probably. I don't know. Even when Indiana's bad, they keep it close to Ohio State. So maybe when they're good, they'll actually win. They'll beat Michigan. It's gonna happen. I mean, it's just the way it is now. Michigan's not that team anymore. They're not gonna be that team anymore. It's just not gonna happen. Now the next team I want to go over is Alabama, man. Are they gonna stay good? Probably. Will they be as good? Maybe? I don't know. I know Bryce Young is supposed to be insane. That's all I know. I know he's supposed to be really good. I think he's getting like $7 million contract offers for like sponsorships, which is insane, by the way. He's a college athlete, and I'm pro NIL. I want college athletes to get their bank, but $7 million is insane. Okay, that's just stupid. It's gonna be Alabama. They're gonna be good. They just are. I don't know how good. They could go undefeated again. They could make the playoff. I don't see it happening. I see them losing 1 or 2 games, because they do play A&M, but they get lucky and they won't play Georgia, which is really big. Actually, Georgia has a super easy schedule for the SEC. They don't play A&M and they don't play Bama, which leaves them with Florida, which means that all they have to do is beat Florida, which is a lot to ask, but they could do it. But no, Alabama can definitely be in a major bowl game. That's what I'll say. They'll definitely be in a major bowl game, like an Orange Bowl, as long as it's not one of the bowl games that's in the playoff, because they're not making the playoff. Because I think this year, like, you're gonna have to be undefeated to make the playoff, which I think that's gonna be like Clemson or North Carolina. Because there's gonna be either Clemson's gonna be 1 loss, or North Carolina is gonna be 1 loss. Either one of those teams are gonna make it. Clemson plays Georgia, actually. Shit, that doesn't make sense. Clemson's gonna be 2 loss. North Carolina undefeated? Why not? North Carolina undefeated. None of what I'm saying has to, revolve around Alabama at all. But it's kind of my mind process. I think that's more entertaining. It's a good thing, when you're getting just raw thought instead of planned out thought. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Alabama not making the playoff. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stick to it. Alabama not making the playoff. Well, and while we're at it, let's just go North Carolina. Mac Brown's a great head coach. All-time great, in my opinion. Killed it at Texas. Killed it at North Carolina before he went to Texas. Now he's back at North Carolina, and he's killing it. Sam Howell's a beast. Their defense was really young last year, but still really good, and they're only going to get better as they age. So I could really see them going undefeated and making the playoff with, DJ Uiagalelei. That sounds right. I think it is. I don't know. But DJ Cinco. Something like that. I think it's his nickname. I don't know. But, yeah. I think North Carolina's going to go undefeated. They're going to take down Notre Dame, as I think Notre Dame's going to have a weak season. They might take down Clemson. I think they're going to. And past that, I think their hardest foe is either Virginia Tech or Florida State. I think they'll handle those games pretty easily. But they'll make the playoff. They won't win the playoff, but they'll make it. They'll do good. They're on the right track. Obviously, they're a top 10 team in the country. They're on the right track. They're doing damn good. Now I want to go to the Big 12 for 2 more teams, then back to the ACC for my final team, and that'll be the video, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I'm battling a cold. It's not fun. Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler's good. Lincoln Riley's good. They're real good, but you know who else is really damn good? Iowa State. They're both good. And I could see Oklahoma losing to Iowa State at least once. They're most likely going to play twice this year. I'd probably say Oklahoma. No, it might happen the same way it happened last year. Oklahoma, I think, loses to Iowa State earlier in the year. I think that was what happened last year, and then they won. the Big 12 championship. That's probably going to happen again. I think that'd be Oklahoma's 7th or 8th straight Big 12 championship. But, it could not happen that way. Iowa State could sweep the board. They got really Brock Purdy. He's really good. The running back, I can't remember his name. He's really good. Their head coach annoys the hell out of me, but he's good. I could really see the Big 12 taking a big shift this year. I think Oklahoma State's gonna finally fizzle out. I hate to say it because I love Mike Gundy, but it's gonna happen. But I think I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it firmly. As much as I hate Iowa State, they're gonna win the Big 12. I'm gonna stick to it. Iowa State is my Big 12 champion favorite. I might regret that, but I'm gonna stick with it. And now I covered the two teams in the Big 12 pretty loosely, but it's good enough. And back to the ACC with Florida State. I think Mike Norvell is the head coach there, right? I think so. Bringing in Mackenzie Milton is cool and all, and I really like Mackenzie Milton, but he's coming off a crazy injury. He might not be the same Mackenzie Milton he was at UCF, but he could be. And they could be really good, and they could somehow pull off a Week 1 upset against Notre Dame, who's not suspecting a thing. And they got that game at home, so that could, they could really, I think that's Doak Stadium, I think. They could really pull off an upset there. Well, they won't, but they could. Just be prepared. I think they'll be a 7-win team, 8-win team, which is a lot better than, where they've been. I think for the 2022 recruiting class, I think they're in the top 10 right now, which is good for them. That's awesome. But, I really don't think Mike Norvell is the answer. I don't think he's a good head coach. I think the ACC is missing a lot of good head coaches. So, yeah, that's really all I got for you. I mean, I'm sorry I'm not as in-depth as, is it Josh Pate or Plate, who's on 24/7 Sports. I'm sorry I'm not him, okay? I'm too lazy. I don't have a crew with me. I have a bunch of hats on my bed and a Batman thing over there. Okay, that should tell you the type of person I am. Lazy. Yeah. Well, that's all I got for you. And, sorry if it wasn't exactly what you hoped, but it's what you're going to get, and it's what I'm going to keep giving you, because I am lazy, and unless this thing blows up, I'm going to stay lazy. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I have no clue what the next episode's going to be, but it'll hopefully be something revolving around college football or the NFL. Who the hell knows?